Wow. Wow. What's going on, people, man? As you already know, man, we coming through with the post game show. As a lot of y'all may be just tuning in after the Falcons almost came back from a 28-3 deficit, 25-point deficit. Ain't that ironic? But unfortunately, the Falcons lose 31-27.
Let me start off.
Go ahead, man. What do you think?
I know people are incredibly upset. I clearly am, but once again, this shows you how lucky you are to have a great quarterback. We keep telling you what decision making is for football. It's all about what's up here. You can be the best athlete in the world, but if you don't have it up here, understanding situations, understanding your personnel, um, these types of things happen. I don't blame Mariota for that throw. I just think it was the wrong person. You got to understand your personnel. Drake London and Kyle Pitts. That's what they make their bones on in college, the NFL, those jump balls, and like I said, I'm not upset with how the game ended. I'm just upset on how just like I said, it's an aggressive play. Um, it's an aggressive throw, but I just thought it was not at that time. You don't make that throw at that time. You had plenty of time on the clock, and that essentially killed all your hopes with that type of. So if you're gonna make that type of throw, like K Styles just alluded to earlier before we started the show, you got to understand who has the hot hand, and I'll pass the mic over to K Styles from that point on.
Oh man, as we already know on that last drive, I gotta start off by saying I give a shout out to these Falcons, man. 28-3. Ironically, 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. And you pull it within scoring opportunities. I think the issue is this is kind of like the same thing that we've been seeing the last couple weeks is these mental mistakes and scoring opportunities, whether it be false starts, turnovers, people missing assignments. And it kind of came back to kind of bit us in the ass at the end. It's unfortunate that we've had to see two red zone opportunities get squandered for only 3 points in this game. Well, no, three red zone opportunities because Koo missed the first field goal. This is when we did our keys. This is why I say finish what you started. There's a bunch of people in here that deserve to get their asses roasted today for the performance we had. But as bad as Michael Walker played the whole game, his interception kind of turned the tide for this team, which I will give him credit for. Because then everybody was locked in and boom, comeback coming. Because Michael Walker played horrible today. Like I said, outside that fourth quarter, boy, we looked at him and said, we still miss Debo, bro. I ain't even gonna tell you nobody. We miss Debo the worst way right now. But go ahead, Jew, man. Let you bless us with the word.
I don't
As
know
he
where to
did
start.
today, as he did today,
Exactly.
he got his preacher on today. So, you guys, I wanted to share that too. If you guys want to hear some good word, man, you need a little bit of inspiration, man. You can hit either one of us up, and we'll send the link to his sermons. His father, mother, everybody's sermons, and trust me, you'll get a good word. I promise you that. So, just hit us up if you're interested. Just a little plug there. So,
Right.
I appreciate that plug, Mike. But this game is like, where do you start? Where do you start? I mean, Kay, you hit it, man. It was a roller coaster of a game. Pretty much everything we said in our pregame show or our the heavy hitter show, it reared this ugly head again in this game. You missing field goals early in the game. You're struggling in the red zone, and we have to start tying together. When you get a turnover, you gotta capitalize on that turnover. You know what I'm saying? If you get an interception on a short field, you gotta score a touchdown. Like you seen late in the game when we started to come back, you had the block punt by Troy Anderson. You run that in for for a touchdown. So it just goes back to show you how quick a game can turn. As we always say, those 1 or 2 plays in a game, we saw that in this game. It looked like the Falcons was out of the game. Next thing you know, you look up, oh, the Falcons down by 6 points. You see what I'm saying? So I really feel like this team is like so close. It's just we're not handling our business. When plays are there to be made, we're missing those key plays in the game that can turn the tide. Like you talked about, you can't miss field goals, you can't miss scoring opportunities. Arthur Smith in this game, he has some questionable play calling. I love Arthur Smith. He sticks with the run, but that first 4th down where we try to go for it on the 50-yard line, you don't run at the teeth of their defense when that's the strength of their defense. Why are you running at Aaron Donald and Ashawn Robinson? I have no clue. I get you trying to establish an identity that, okay, we're a running football team, we're tough, but at some point you got to be smart as well. And in that situation, when you have a quarterback that can get out on the edge and run, and you can do play action and things of that nature, I didn't like that call in that situation. And I feel like if you're going to go for it on 4th down, call your best offensive play. You guys got to go check out Atlanta Sports Unlimited. I watched their last post-game show where they talked about the Saints, or it was a show that they did, and they talked to Bob Whitfield. And he made it plain and clear where he talked about the Falcons got to find those plays that is like those 4 or 5 plays that are guaranteed. Like we know that this play is going to work. Come hell high water, this is a bread and butter play that always works. Go ahead, Mike.
I just gotta say this one time. This is first year and with this offense. I just want to throw that in there too. I know a lot of people is like, throw the ball to Kyle Pitts, but this is the first year these guys had any type of chemistry with Mariota. This is a new quarterback, Kyle Pitts, and Drake. So yeah, I expect them to get better, but you got to remember this is still year 1 with this particular roster.
Right. Oh yeah, that's why I completely agree with you, Mike, and that's why I don't think Coach Arthur Smith, I don't care if we lose, if we miss the playoffs again, he's not going to be in the hot seat because of the cap situation. The team, he basically finally has started to bring in some of his players, but we know the cap situation was so terrible, with Matt Ryan's number still on the books, Julio's number still on the books. These guys going to get at least 4 years. That's how I feel. They're going to give Arthur Blank is going to give these guys at least 4 years to try to right the ship. So I'm not worried about him losing his job. I just think it was some questionable play calls. Other than that, one thing I can say about Arthur Smith that I thought was really good by him as a second-year head coach is he stuck with his blueprint. Because I don't know if you guys were listening to the telecast, Mark Sanchez kept saying, why are they still huddling up? Like they need to be going fast. They need to speed up their offense. They need to go fast. He still was running the ball with Tyler Algier. He still was pretty much running his offense. He didn't panic when we were down 28-3. And to me, that says a lot about a coach when he doesn't scrap his whole game plan just because things are not going his way. I think that he was patient in this game. I think that the Falcons players, they feed off of the coaching, and they fed off the head coach today because Arthur Smith, even like you would have never known we were down 28-3 because he just kept that mellow, same, persona, no panic whatsoever. And you seen that feed into the players and that breathed into the players where they felt like they still were in the game at 28-3. And I'll say this Falcons team is going to be a tough out. nobody's going to want to play this team this year. When they see the Falcons on their schedule, they know that this is a team that's not going to ever give up. And that's, that's the hardest type of team to play, where you got a team that has nothing to lose and they play you down to the last second of the game. And that's what we saw today.
Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I know there's quite a few questions here that I highlighted. And first, I want to answer two questions real quick. The first one was King Quest. Is there a question why people are wasting, saying why are we wasting Kyle Pitts? Because he's not. Well, one thing you got to understand is that when you have a weapon at tight end positions, it affects a multitude of things. Linebackers can't focus on just sitting in the middle of the defense and just camping out. Two is that the safeties can't just, like I was talking to the guys earlier. I said the safeties just can't come down and put 8 and 9 in the box because it's disrespectful to guys like Drake London. You saw Drake London today; he ate them up when they tried to put 8, 9 in the box to stop the run. To add to that real quick, I think I'm gonna be honest. Tyler Algier needs to start for the Falcons. Mm-hmm. He needs to start for the Falcons. He ran like a running back. He had the right vision. One thing about Kyle Pitts, and I forget who stated that. Might have been Mark Sanchez, but he stated, it was Sanchez. But he stated that he runs a tad bit upright. And talking about Cordero Patterson. And that's something that I've seen a lot lately with his fundamentals. He slips a lot. It's because he's running upright. As a running back, you want to have that low center of gravity so guys they can't see you in the backfield. But two, I think he's getting caught up looking for lanes instead of creating lanes with his feet and his eyes. And that's something that when I look at Tyler Algier, he's creating lanes with his eyes. No one probably baffled by that, but running backs can look one way, but they really setting you up to go the opposite way. And I think those are the things as a true running back, you learn how to set up your blockers. And I think that's something that Cordero Patterson, he's a one-cut guy. He see a hole, he hits the hole. But I think for this point on, Tyler Algier needs to be the guy. All right, K-Styles, go ahead.
I was just going to reiterate on what you said as far as Cordero Patterson. Like I said, at the end of the day, we also have to remember Cordero Patterson is a wide receiver / kick returner.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why he runs upright like that. He's not a running back. And I definitely do agree with you on the Tyler Algier because he kind of brings like an emotional, like physicality to this offense.
He was hitting those holes hard, and he was punishing them linebackers. They weren't talking. They weren't talking like they were talking when they were hitting Cordero Patterson. Like they was getting up. It's like, you know what's up? When they get up, linebackers they always jump up and start moving their shoulders. That's when you know they get hit. They was jumping up and they were moving their shoulders because, like I said, that young kid is doing a wonderful job. Ju, you want to get there before I get to the next question about Tyler Algier and Cordero?
To be honest with you guys, and I'm gonna be the difference in the three. I don't mind Cordero Patterson. To me, the Falcons really don't have a starter. Like if you guys remember in game 1, a lot of people keep forgetting that Damian Williams got hurt the first drive of the game. Like he was out there with the starters. Cordero Patterson wasn't even out there the first game of the season as the starter. So I really don't think we have a starter. I think it's whatever the game plan is for that particular Sunday is what they're going with. Like we seen these guys inactive. Like they had Tyler Algier last week inactive. He wasn't even on the rosters, like on the active roster. So I think they're trying to play it by the game plan or whatever they're trying to scheme for that particular week. So I do like, y'all know I love Tyler Algier because he's a pure running back and he's a bruiser. And I feel like that's the type of offense that we kind of run. If you're going to want to just run downhill all the time, Tyler Algier, that's his game. Like that's what he did at BYU. So you guys know I'm all for it. I mean, I love Cordero Patterson and his attitude he runs with. And I agree with you guys. Tyler Algier is the Mack truck. Like, you don't want to tackle 225 coming downhill. You know, they tried to play a little Caleb Huntley in this game too. I don't know if you guys noticed. He got like 2 or 3 carries in this game.
Yeah, he got 3 carries out of it.
Yeah. So, like I said, he did a good job of. One thing I can say about Arthur Smith, he has an identity. He's sticking with, I run the football. I don't care what we down by. We're going to run the ball. We're going to keep that physicality. We're going to keep running at you and trying to wear your defense down. So he did a good job of that in this game, not panicking. Even when we got down 28-3, they still was handing that rock off. That's what I like to see.
They couldn't tee off on our quarterback like that.
Right.
So I think it was a good decision. Let's get this one more question. That I saw. Mario is not the solution. Might as well give Ritter as much playing time he see if he can be the future. Well, I think everybody. I speak for everybody here right now. He has no look. Mario is clearly not the answer. Okay, this team needs to learn. This is one of the main reasons why we're 0-2 right now is because mental mistakes. When you add a rookie onto mental mistakes, bro, it's gonna be a clown show. So look, Mariota is right here for a reason because they need to learn. They need to learn the offense. And I stated earlier, this is the first time this particular roster has been together. This is the first year, second year of Arthur Smith offense as a play caller, but this offense hasn't been together long. Let them jail. Me, K-Styles, Jew, we've been doing this. What? We've been together about almost 3 years. Almost 3 years. We have a chemistry. I can already tell what Jew when he's chomping at the bit. When K-Styles is chomping at the bit. All right, I'll pass it off to them. These types of things. So Giddy got time. The defense played well. I will say this, and I think we're going to get into that. But let me say this real quick. I'm scared. I'm terrified. I'm terrified. I'm absolutely terrified. We're gonna get to this $5. All right, but I'm terrified, man. Our linebackers were bad today.
$5 super chat from Matty Ghost.
Our linebackers were absolutely horrid today. And I'm gonna just say this: I think Michael Walker has a future with the Falcons, but no way should he be the leader.
Damn sure ain't that middle linebacker. I tell you
middle
that.
linebacker. Look, that's all cute to get these interceptions, but when teams are running the ball, their entire game plan was to go at our middle linebackers, and they destroyed us in the first half. It was just embarrassing just to see like he wouldn't hit the hole. You saw a hole wide open, and I screamed. If you guys were in my house, I screamed so loud. He had a wide open lane to a running back, and he hesitated and like those are the types of things as a linebacker. You see a running back, you got to attack that running back, not sit back and watch the hole develop and then all right, let him come to you. In other words, initiate contact. You got to initiate the contact. Go get it. Go head up with these offensive linemen because they don't like getting hit. Just because they're 300 pounds don't mean they like getting hit.
Right.
Look, trust me, big guys don't like getting hit. No one likes getting hit. So you bring it to them, they gonna feel it too.
Especially when you're a 250 pounder that's rushing with full force. But get to this $5 super chat by Matty Ghost. He said coaching grade F, D line pass rush and pressure grade F, DBs B plus, special teams A plus.
I'm gonna mute myself before I'm gonna just mute myself. Thank you for the $5 though.
Appreciate the $5. I wouldn't say the DBs get a B plus. I think they get like a solid C. To be honest with you, like you said, AJ Terrell is getting tested right now, and it's not really up to the standards, I guess, that we've all put up to him as far as people not throwing his direction. But yeah, kind of getting back to it. But like I said, we will see how this goes. But when they count it, the Rams couldn't do shit in that fourth quarter. I have to be honest with you, the Rams really didn't do shit the second half of the third quarter and the fourth quarter.
Man, look, don't come in here with that bullshit. Look, don't come in here with that bull. I told you so crap. All right, this team absolutely fought. So if you are embarrassed about how this Falcons team played in this game against the world champions, they gave the world champions. Let me repeat that: the world champions, and everybody thought that Aaron Donald was going to have a field day, and it did not happen.
Oh, remember the Falcons still the worst team in football. You got to remember that now.
Okay, they the worst
Falcons
team.
Still the worst team in football.
If you embarrassed about this, I don't want you on my channel, and I don't want you as a Falcon fan, because if you really are a fan, you're talking about a team that did not only they were not only down 28-3, but they came back against one of the best offenses in the league, against one of the best defenses in the league, one of the best NFL coaches in the game.
Mm-hmm.
They gave them everything that they. No, we did not finish it. Yes, it is a disappointment. But if you're not happy about this, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what else. I don't know why you're watching. I don't know why you're on our channel. And quite like I said, it's about you got to get what you get when you're rebuilding. You got to get what you get. You're not going to immediately. This is not how the end of the real world works. These teams just not. You look at the Arizona Cardinals. You look at a lot of these teams that are currently. Aaron Donald been in the league 8 years. You thought he was dominant in year 1, year 2? No, he wasn't. It takes time, bro.
I want to hit this comment real quick. Delilah said 0-2 is 0-2, but they didn't fold. That's what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You heard Mark Sanchez say, I want to see what this Falcons team is made of in this second half. And we've seen what this Falcons team is made of. They have that DNA to be a team that can be a winning, organization. They're building that winning culture because those guys didn't fold. Even though they was getting their tails whipped, they hung in there and they made the game. Like they put the Rams, they really opened up the Rams' eyes in that second half because they made plays. When plays need to be made, special teams stepped up with a block, interception by Michael Walker, interception by Casey Hayward. And I kind of wanted to touch on that comment when we got the super chat where he talked about the secondary. We really missed Isaiah Oliver in this game. When Casey Hayward went down with that injury, that was huge for us because then you seen Darren Hall, you seen some of those younger guys get out there trying to go up against Cooper Kupp and those guys. And Darren Hall came up with a key fumble. He punched the ball out, so you're seeing these guys. When you see guys doing the stuff that they're out there doing, this is stuff that's being coached. So I was really proud to see those guys not fold. And in certain situations, in critical situations, we've seen those guys make good decisions. Like even on the throw with Mariota, we're, criticizing, why would you throw that to Edwards? Edwards in that situation, you got to become the DB. You can't let Jalen Ramsey come down with that football. Yeah, he did jump with him, but how many times we've seen Julio Jones? It's a clear interception. He knocked the ball away. He turns into the defender like, if I'm not catching it, nobody's catching this football. So in that situation, I'm not putting that on Marcus Mariota. Edwards was between Jalen Ramsey and the ball. Jalen Ramsey out-jumped him for the football. He made a play on the football. At the end of the day, as the receiver, you got to turn into the defender in that situation. If you're not coming down with it, you can't let that DB come down with that ball in that situation. So I'm not upset with these guys. Like I said, I think these guys fought hard. Yeah, we're 0-2. But like I said, we got to start using our eyes, the eye test. Use your eyes. What do we see today? Did this team look like the worst team in the league? Kay keeps saying, this is supposed to be the worst team in the league, what the media is telling us. But they just went toe-to-toe with probably two of the best teams in the NFC for the last couple of years. The Rams and the Saints have been teams that's notoriously been in the playoffs every single year. They're teams that usually be there in the playoffs. So we've seen these guys go neck and neck with the toughest teams. We got some weaker opponents, even though it's any given Sunday. We got the Seattle Seahawks coming up, the Cleveland Browns coming up. If they keep playing the way that we played these last 2 games, I'm encouraged with where this team is headed. I'm not guaranteeing wins because we've seen the Seattle Seahawks beat the Denver Broncos. It's any given Sunday, any given Thursday, any given Monday. So I'm seeing development, though. I like the development and where this team is headed.
Yeah, but the only thing that I will say is it's got to be for 60 minutes, man. That's got to be the next step, bro. We can't be going on these things where week 1 we doing it for 3 quarters and then we don't do it for the 4th, and then this week we don't do it for 3 quarters and then do it on the 4th. Like I said, eventually the next step is you're going to have to do this for 60 minutes. Now, positives out of this game. Oh, well, positives out the 4th quarter. Yeah, that's about the right way to say it. But it's still like even though, like I said, yeah, it's still a loss. It's a loss, but I can't throw Ritter in there just yet. And it's kind of surprising that I keep hearing all this Ritter talk. I'm about to say, ain't this the same Desmond Ritter nobody wanted? It's kind of weird that to kind of hear that is we got to put Ritter now. We got to put Ritter now. If I remember correctly, about 98% of Atlanta didn't want this guy. But I guess what it comes down to is, and Ritter, not Ritter, but Mariota's kind of showing himself on why he is a bridge quarterback, because necessarily sometimes like what you said about that throw that he threw the air, which that got to the interception. I know he's been in the game a while. You don't have to necessarily get the whole 13 on the throw. See, this is where his fault comes. This is why I blame him on that throw. Especially if by looking at some of the replays, you had a couple guys that might have been open, that may have been the safer bet. Like, I'm not going to just try to rush and get it all in one. Because now, by you doing that, and if it's an incomplete pass, now it's a 4th and 13. Now, if it's 3rd and 13 and you get a 5 or 6 yard play right there, now you open up the playbook even more. But okay, yeah, now I can use the threat of the read option here and catch him off guard, or I might throw a little sprint out, like I said, with Parker Hesse or something like that. But like I said, this is this is just one of the major issues of having a team like this where they got to learn on the fly. You got to play 60 minutes. At the end of the day, that's on all 3 phases of the game. I can't really say special teams get an A+ here. Well, you've only really seen special teams really twice this whole damn game. Well, no, they don't get no A+ because Cool missed the field goal, so that knocks it down to about a B.
Mm-hmm. Those mistakes. That's what we talk about. Those mental mistakes. Like I said, I know a lot of people up here, really wondering to themselves, all right, how can you have so many positives to negatives just because it's football?
We got a super chat too, Mike. I don't think we hit the $9.99 super chat.
Go ahead. I think I missed it.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it.
You got it.
All right. Shout out to Ernest Jackson for the $9.99 super chat. He said, "You're right, Mike, and don't forget the worst roster according to executives and teams has its flaws, and with a better start, Falcons come out of LA with a W." And that's all we saying, man. You gotta play for 60 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just it.
It's something I want to touch on too when y'all are talking about Desmond Ritter. I think another thing that kind of goes overlooked by the casual fan, the casual football fan, This isn't Madden where you can just plug anybody, plug and play. Arthur Smith talked a little bit about when they asked him about Desmond Ritter, like how many games do he got to play this year and how many snaps do he has to get, and he kind of snapped off on the media, and he talked about it's other parts of the game that he doesn't believe Desmond Ritter is ready for, and it's like the getting everybody set. You hear quarterbacks making the checks. That's one of the responsibilities of the quarterback is to read, okay, who's blitzing on this play? Okay, go to this play. Like you'll hear a quarterback say, we're good. Check, check, check. They're looking at all this different stuff. You'll see, like today, I don't know if you guys noticed when he was talking to the receivers, he was changing the play, and Kyle Pitts was looking at him, and Mark Sanchez said, oh, it looks like him and Kyle Pitts are not on the same page. He was trying to tell him. So that's things that usually a rookie quarterback that's never played in the NFL and haven't seen these different defensive schemes, because we know in college, everything is you look to the sideline and you see a bunch of signs, SpongeBob SquarePants, and all these different signs, and they kind of tell you, okay, this is the defense that they in man, they in zone. Well, in the NFL, it's none of that. So a lot of these young quarterbacks, when they come into the league, their biggest issue is they can't read defenses. Ask the 49ers with Trey Lance. That's his biggest problem. He's athletic, but he doesn't understand the NFL, the schemes, and what the defense is trying to do to him just yet. And I think that's the difference between the Mariota, why you want that veteran in there, because we're already a young team. You got Drake London out there. You got Kyle Pitts, who's a second-year player. You got a lot of young guys that Mariota's taken under his wing. So at this point, I think with Desmond Ritter, it's not so much that he can't make all of the throws and that he's not poised. He is. It's the other things, that he didn't see in the preseason. Like we keep saying he looked good in the preseason. He did, but he wasn't facing Aaron Donald in the preseason. It's a totally different thing from going up against the second and third strings. And it's a totally different thing when they're not game planning for you. We know in the preseason, you're not scheming up anything. It's really vanilla. Like they ain't running no amoeba defenses. They're not running no cat blitzes unless you're just crazy. You're not going to show your hand during the preseason. So that's another thing we got to keep in mind when y'all talk about Desmond Ritter. Yeah, he did look good, but everything was vanilla. It wasn't anybody game planning against him.
And also, these mistakes Mariota is making, he's taking notes on the sideline about certain things that he may have seen that Mariota may not have seen. So even though Ritter is not playing, he's still learning. He's looking at, okay, oh, coach chewing his ass out about doing that. I make sure I'm not going to do that no more. I can't take a second.
I mean, look, Stanley, like what you want? You want to you want a damn sucker? Like, do you want a lollipop or something? I'm tired of being optimistic week after week, year after year. There are 31 losers every year.
I'm about to say you ain't even just losers. There's 31 other teams. You can choose. You can choose the best team in the league and be a fan of. You don't have to be tired of the Falcons and Optimism.
You don't have to be tired. You don't have to be a Falcon fan.
Y'all want to see something? Let me show y'all something right now.
Yeah, that right there. Year after year, they lose, and I'm not trying to be funny whatsoever because I support Tech too. Even though
you ain't gotta tell me twice. Look, bro, please. I already know. After that ass whooping we took yesterday, boy.
Come on, man. Like I said, Auburn ain't necessarily in the championship hunt. Like,
Auburn,
come on, man.
We ain't had a quarterback since Cam Newton. How long was that?
What are we talking about? I'm tired of being optimistic. All right, then you don't have to be.
You optimistic. Don't have to be. You like I said, you can go and be a Chiefs fan. You got who's some other winners here in the league right now? You got Cowboys Nation. You could be a Buccaneer fan.
You could be a Rams fan. They the defending champs.
You could be Rams. You could be a Rams fan after this game. You can go be a Ravens fan, like I said. If you're tired, and I be tired of saying this, if the Falcons bother you that much, you need to take your goofy ass on somewhere else to the left, for somebody that make you feel good.
the Browns have sucked for how many years now?
Oh,
Yeah.
See, the Cowboys have sucked for how many years? Forget that. I don't care about them 90s rings.
30
Before I was
years.
what I was walking around in
Yeah.
diapers. Nobody care about that, man. Them
Yeah.
dusty rings. Okay.
Right. Nobody care nothing about that. We're up here complaining about
And
like year after year. Like other teams lose too. We're not the only one losing.
At least I own it, don't lie to you every year and say we're gonna be in the Super Bowl.
And look, and then you see this comment right here say y'all getting sensitive. This man can be sick of the BS. Well, if you're sick of the BS,
To the left. Get the hell on. You don't have to stay here. We're not asking you to watch us. I don't care if you watch us. I would prefer that you watch us. But I'm not forcing you to. K-Styles are not, sitting down with a gun pointed at your head and say, hey, watch our show. Please watch our show. We're not doing that. We look, at the end of the day, we're here to be honest. Okay? Honest and truthful. Just because a team lose, you got to look at the reasons why you're losing. Is it because of the run game? Is it because of the pass game? Are we not getting pressure? Are we dropping interceptions? Are we missing field goals?
Yeah, but like I said, if you're making the point that you're always tired or you're always doing this year after year, eventually you're going to have to switch it up then. And like I said, this ain't us being sensitive. This ain't us even being mad about it. Like I said, ATL cleanse is real. If you ain't down with it, hey man, there's 31 other teams. Ain't nobody gonna be mad about it. You gotta do what's best for you. If you mad about the Falcons, you got the Buccaneers. Buccaneers win. Now that warm, tingly sensation goes all over your body, and you be like, a winner. This is a struggle over here. We knew what it was coming into this season, that it was going to be a struggle.
And we're not trying to be disrespectful, but when you say things like I'm tired of being, look, you don't have to be tired. Like I said, you can go watch, you can be a fan of just the game itself. There's nothing wrong with that. I know plenty of people who are just a fan of the game and they just like to watch the NBA game, baseball or football. You don't have to be a fan of a team.
But like I said, getting off of that subject and getting back onto this game, though. Man.
Oh yeah, Norman. Let me just say this. Hold on, where is coming? Yeah, look, we tired of. You think we don't like losing? You think we like losing? I'm a Duke fan. Okay, I like wins.
I'm a Carolina fan. I like to win too.
Come on, man.
I don't really give two shits about college basketball, but but hell, I can use a perfect example. You see how everybody on the Braves nuts now? They don't want to talk about them 5, 6, 7 years where they weren't shit. But the process is the process. This is what the Falcons are going through right now. Like you said, at the end of the day, the major thing that killed us in this game, mental mistakes, not taking advantage. See, the biggest difference now is you ain't got no, like I said, the scapegoat everybody used to put it on, they can't put it on them no more. But we not talking about that. I really don't want to talk about that. But I really don't give a damn no more. But anybody got any more questions, man? Are there any other takes, any other players that y'all felt like you saw some bright spots in this game?
Yeah, one right off the bat. I thought it was absolutely amazing. And we always talking about in the NBA, you have to seize your opportunity. Whether you're a 6-man, you the third center off the bench, you got to come in and put
6-man.
Whether you're the 6-man, you got to seize your opportunity and make a play. And King Fuego just look, Moses. Everybody know I'm going with that. You got to seize your opportunity, man. And that's what it's all about. You got to seize your opportunity. And I think Troy Anderson did an amazing job seizing this opportunity to help turn the tide for the Falcons in that fourth quarter. Those are that's what you need to do. It doesn't matter whether it's a win or loss, but those types of effort plays, when you need a play, that's when you know you got good players. And Troy Anderson is a good player because, like I said, good players throw touchdowns on their first pass. You know what I'm saying? Good players are drafted, number one overall for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, at the end of the day, man, I think Troy Anderson is off to a good start. I think he is the future of this Atlanta Falcons defense, and I'm excited about that.
I thought you were going somewhere else, Mike. I'm gonna say Drake London. You guys know I love Drake London in the draft. He was my top wide receiver prospect, and he hasn't disappointed. I mean, every time he's out there, he's making plays. You've seen him today. He's physical, can run routes, can do pretty much everything you want a wide receiver, number one wide receiver, to do. I think he's going to win the Offensive Rookie of the Year. That was something that Roddy White also stated when he came to training camp. But I think he has that type of skill set. And like K-Styles was saying, if you're going to throw a jump ball up, make sure it's number 5 or number 8, period. I don't want to see you throwing no more jump balls to Edwards. Definitely not to Zacchaeus, little small self. But if you're going to throw a ball up in traffic, Drake London and Kyle Pitts are the guys that you want to do it. Those guys are playmakers. And if
you're fascinated.
Yeah, if you watch Drake London in this game, one thing that I love about him too, he's just cool, calm, and collective. He kind of reminds me of like a Klay Thompson in the NBA. He just chill. Tim Duncan, Kawhi Leonard, it's like he just chill. You won't know if he's winning or losing because he just chilling. He out there just making plays, and he just looks so smooth out there doing it. And he looks almost like a veteran. I seen one play where Mariota was scrambling back, and he came back on the scrambling drill, and Mariota tried to hit him on the sideline. Those little small things like that just goes to show you that he's going to be a beast because he already understands those small nuances that we talk about. You got to come back to the football. If nobody's breaking open, you see your quarterback scrambling in a scramble drill, what do they teach your wide receivers? Come back to the ball. Make yourself available. So that's something that I've seen in this game, that he's doing those small things, and he's just snatching the ball out the air and making plays. I think he had over 100 yards receiving, if I'm not mistaken, in his first touchdown today. So he's definitely a bright spot. And he was killing Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey was doing all that talking, I'm him and all this stuff. Like, bruh, you're a front runner.
You got smoke.
Yeah, you're a front runner. Come on, bruh. I'll leave it at that, man. Drake London.
We're gonna we got some questions real quick. We got another question. Look, I like I said, I understand why everybody crying. Look, you gotta we always talk about being real. Let's just be real. Why are you upset? We were never supposed to be. We're never a Super Bowl team to begin with. That's real. And these types of things going against a Super Bowl champion, and we put in that work. We made them fear us. Is Arthur Smith going to have, bad play calls here and there? Of course he is. He's a more conservative, old school type of play caller. You're going to see those plays where it's like, all right, I should be aggressive right here, but I'm going to just, stick with my offense, trust my players going to make a play. You're going to see that more so in this offense than you do with him. And I know OG right now chomping at the bit. We're winding it down, so we're going to kind of give him his time to shed light on, because he might have a completely different outlook than any one of us. So all y'all say, like, we've been a little bit too optimistic. Hey, let the OG come on and tell us what's going on. What's real, Johnson?
OG, what's happening?
What's happening?
Tough one, man. Tough one. That was a tough one, man. We dropped a tough one today. Believe it or not, man, watching the game, we always say this, watching the game, you're watching the game as a fan. Hell, when you're watching the game as a fan, you're gonna be emotional, man. It is what it is. And then once the game is over with and life goes on, you jump back into your analytical body. And if I'm being analytical about it, what Mike just said, that's the truth. A lot of folks ain't gonna want to hear it, but hell, I can't call myself OG Truth Hurst and not accept and respect the truth. We're not supposed to be what we're not supposed to be nothing anyway. Now here's where I got to go in my inner Arthur Smith. You guys wrote us off a long time ago. Y'all got us with one foot in the grave and another foot on the banana peel. So it is what it is. What I liked about today's game was they tried to find a way to win an ugly football game. They tried to find a way to win an ugly football game. It was ugly. It was ugly both ways. You had penalties. You had turnovers. You had missed tackles. You had punters getting hurt. You had guys who uncharacteristically made mistakes. Cook with the missed field goal. I blame both Mariota and a little bit of Mariota, but a lot of Cordero. Cordero, I done seen you haul that pass in. If nothing else, knock it to that right there. That was the ball game. You want to know? You want to be honest with you? That was the ball game. That pick right there, they goes down late in the half and they score. Okay, you take that 7 points away, we win that football game 27-24. Or let's just say it would have been a 25-24 game because naturally they wouldn't have took the safety. I like the fight at the end. No, we don't do moral victories, but they did fight. They showed fight. Again, we trying to win an ugly football game. The announcer started swaying towards us. I don't know if y'all noticed it or not. He started swaying towards us because he started bringing up the 28-3, exercising the demons and all that old shit there. But for whatever it's worth, for whatever it means. Marcus Mariota didn't play bad today. He forced that ball at the end a little bit. I think he didn't. I don't think he had to force that, but we know he was trying to make a play. He took care of the football for the most part. It seems like him and Dahlman having some issues. I'm pretty sure that's going to be brought up. I don't know if you picked up on that, but it looked like they're having some issues. Early in the first half, you got Pitts in motion. The ball is snapped and it hit Pitts. I think that's more on Mariota because Mariota calls. He the one sending the guy in motion. He the one calls for the ball. So I can't blame Dahlman on that. But I saw Dahlman get manhandled in them trenches a lot. And earlier, I was raising hell with the fellas about Grady Jarrett, and I was saying he was getting manhandled. No, he wasn't getting manhandled because you don't manhandle Grady Jarrett. I just kind of felt like at the time, being an emotional ass fan, which what we all are when we're watching the team, I felt like he could have shedded them blocks a little bit better. But I haven't watched the game a second time. Generally, what I do is I watch the game a second time all the way through where I can be more objective. My linebackers, I'm not pleased with them. I don't know about y'all. I'm not pleased with my linebackers. We're not filling gaps. Yes, I'm super happy about the listen, Michael Walker, he's a kid. He fights out there, but sometimes he make business decisions on making tackles. If we need to move him to safety, let's move him to safety. I mean, because to me, he's good in the coverage game. He's an athletic. He's a very athletic person. But I don't like him filling gaps. and that'll bring up someone who's on the inactive list, and I'm pretty sure people gonna bring that up. The O-line took a slight step back today. They did great last week. They was mediocre at best today. We gave up sacks on three. Once we gave up one sack on a blitz. I don't fault the O-line on that because somebody didn't make them line signals. When number 58 came in and he split Matthews and whoever the guy is playing left guard, when he split them, nobody.
That was Mariota. That was Mariota's call. He's supposed to get the blitz.
Yeah. So, but when you got a bunch of guys together who had played with each other before, you're gonna get them type of mistakes, man. It is what it is. Like I said, we can't do no moral victories, but you gotta appreciate that the team is willing to leave it all out on the field. You can compare and contrast weeks 1 and 2. It's just amazing how their game was flipped. Last week we had it together for 3 quarters, went to sleep in the 4th quarter. This week we slept for 3 quarters, damn near 3.5 quarters, and woke up in the 4th quarter. You got to be. It's an encouraging sign to see the block punt. Number 44 Anderson, Braddock as I call him. Look, those plays are going to start. We're going to start. It's going to start turning into victories.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to keep losing by 1. What we lost by 1 last week.
1 score game.
One possession games. And we're not gonna keep losing 1 possession games. The ball will bounce your way eventually.
And we didn't choke. And guess what? We lost a 1 possession game. And listen, we didn't choke it this week. Okay, we had a couple of things that didn't happen right, but so did they. How many of y'all had Cooper Kupp making almost costing them the game with a turnover? Nobody had that.
Exactly.
Nobody had that. Nice pick by Hayward in the end zone. Again, I was raising hell when Walker got the interception. I was raising hell, and I didn't even know while I was raising hell that I was muted. So I was talking to myself. God will get you for that, Mike. But no, I'm looking on social media, and man, wow, fan base.
I muted him.
You gotta love our fan base, man. You gotta love our fan base. They're ready to make the quarterback change and ready to fire Arthur Smith. Boy, you gotta love our fan base, man. And they just at a certain point, you just gotta laugh to keep them crying. Falcons, let me tell you something, Falcons fans. This team is trending upward. No matter what a lot of people saying, this team is trending upward. Yes, we 0-2, but you know what? I'm willing to bet a paycheck we be 2 weeks from now. We be 2-2. I like us against Seattle, and I like us against Seattle, and I love us at home against Cleveland. Cleveland.
Yeah.
Cleveland kicked that game off today. My God, it was a day of trick-offs. We just could close. And listen, man, when you got a bunch of young players, newsflash, y'all, Mariota is still technically young. I'm not getting a lot of these fans. He missed on a couple of shots. The last interception was not a jump ball. He just missed on the shot. He wasn't throwing a jump ball to him. Why don't you throw a jump ball? You're not throwing a jump ball in the middle of the field. Man, boy, my goodness, man. Hey, I really commend y'all because y'all got supreme patience, and I don't. Like, dumbass, just, oh my man, dumbasses should just take me all the way to the moon. I commend y'all. Some of this, look, man, I might not even get on social media for about another 17 to 24 hours because some of this most ridiculous stuff be said about our team from our fans. It's so disheartening, man, because those boys out there, they fighting their ass off out there. And because our coach is not giving the freaking rah-rah speeches, giving the rah-rah speeches, the captain obvious speeches, telling D. Orlando Ledbetter, Jeff Schultz, and what's that clown name that came from San Francisco? The black dude, Terrence Moore. Just because he ain't telling him and Dean Pease ain't telling them what they want to hear. Now he's a fake tough guy. Well, I can't stand these motherfuckers. He's a fake tough guy. Oh well, he's a billionaire anyway. He don't care. I ain't heard that man mention his upbringing one time. Have y'all?
No, sir. No, sir. Hey, let's get the we'll kind of bring it down. We're gonna
I want to leave a lasting question.
Mhm.
Like I said, just make this quick couple minutes. So, do you feel like they're trying to overcompensate for the fact that this team is not supposed to be good? Is why a lot of these mistakes is happening, where like everybody's trying to do too much.
No, I really don't. I don't think that they're playing football because one thing, a lot of these guys are not going to have a job. So the overcompensation already done started when they signed that 1-year contract. So I doubt that is a part of anything because, like I said, it's a 1-year deal. You're going to play at a maximum effort. But the guys that we're talking about that is, quote unquote, overcompensating a guy that's already here. Young Wei Koo, Marcus Mariota, Dahlman. Like these guys are the ones who's making the mistakes. When you look at how the team is going, Michael Walker, those guys are making the mistakes. So I don't think it's more so like they're overcompensating. I just think there has been so much pressure being put on this team because of the media and the fans. Fans don't realize how much pressure you put on guys because Arthur doesn't have he can't sit back and say, all right, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. I got 3 years to get this offense ready. The way these media and these fans, if you don't have 10 touchdowns, 10 catches, 10 receptions in 5 games, they ready to get rid of it. They're already saying that Kyle Pitts is a bust, not even looking at the film and how many times how he draws contacts, how he opens up holes for the running backs and those types of things. They don't even focus on that type of thing. So I think if anything, the fans are putting this on because, like I said, they already called him for his job after week 2. We just played the defending world champions. We just played the world champions, and we up here worried about whether or not Kyle Pitts gonna have 10 receptions in the game.
Oh boy. Newsflash, Falcons fans, unless he gets hurt, Marcus Mariota's not being as the quarterback. Of course, unless he just have a string of shitty games. He's not getting. Y'all get off that, put Ritter in. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead on and bust your bubble and tell you what you don't want to hear. He's not making a change from him. He done got into a rhythm with Mariota now. Mariota made some good passes today. He missed on a few. Mariota hit on a couple of good shots today. Big ups to number 12. Number 12.
Cordell Hodge.
Then I asked y'all, I said, who that boy? Listen, y'all. I'm not up on the happenings and the goings with the roster. I'm not a good salary cap guy. I'm not a good transaction guy. Look, I look at K Styles, Mike, Devontae. I look at y'all for all that. I don't know all that, so I might ask a question like, "Who the hell is he?" Now I can look at a football game and I can watch a football game and I can know if a blade of grass is too green. Okay, I'm overly smart in that area, but I'm also can be an overly smart dumbass too. I'll admit I don't know about tell me that though. I don't know about tell me that, but
Hey, hold up. My bad, man. Let's go ahead and wind it down, man. Cause you good.
I get a little long-winded. My bad.
Oh no, you good. Hey, you talking to the long-winded squad over here, so we already know.
Got that right. I was about to say that, boy. We got AFN coming up next. They're gonna do a recap, so we want to divert the attention towards the AFN crew, and Jude kind of lead us out. Jude and K Styles can kind of lead us out from that.
We said everything that need to be said. I mean, like I said, and the OG said it best. This team is trending upward. Like I said, I like to do the eye test. As the OG said, go back and watch the game. And just looking at this team.
Hey, real quick. Watch the game when you're out of your emotions.
There you
it's
go.
Like, if you still 38 hot, don't go back and rewind the game. If you still 38 hot, don't go back and rewind the game, because what's going to happen is you're going to get mad all over again. So that's what I mean. But go ahead, though. Yeah.
Yeah, we're trending upward. You said it best. Like, we're trending upward. That's what I want to see. Like, if we got blown out 45-0 today, then it's like, okay, I understand why the Falcons fans have no hope. But looking at this team and the way that they played the last 2 weeks, what can we ask for? You in one possession games. Like I said, you losing these games 1 point, a field goal. And it's like we're, missing field goals. We're doing stuff to kind of shoot ourselves in the foot. So it's like, okay, you get those things cleaned up. You get these penalties cleaned up. Okay, there you go. You win some of these games. So with that being said, I do want to thank everybody for tuning in as always. Like we said, we want to direct it over to the AFN crew. But like I said, I'm not worried about this team at all. As he said, Mariota, we're not seeing him bench no time soon. As long as he's healthy and upright, you guys just sit back, relax. We told y'all during the offseason, this is your young team. They're developing these young players. It's a lot of guys on one-year deals for a reason. So next year is when you got cap space and when you can go out and bring in some of these guys y'all want to bring in, and then we can see what the team do then. But for now, if you want to say we're in a rebuild mode, I hate saying rebuild mode, but if that's where y'all want to take it, okay, we're in a rebuild mode. So sit back, relax, and watch these young guys go out there and compete.
What else spin they want to put on it, man?
Yeah.
What else spin they want to put on it? We're rebuilding.
Yeah. So I'm gonna just end it off with these couple words, man. At the time and point, when are the mistakes are going to stop? That's going to be what the question most of the Falcon fans are going to ask.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all go ahead and tune over to AFN for their post-game show.
8:40.
At 8:40. We see you Monday. Cool to talk. Deuces.